So, today I'm going to talk about Mega Man, and pretty much I'm just going to give my opinion on why I think Mega Man 2 is the best Mega Man overall. At least in the classic series, you know, from Mega Man 1 to Mega Man 6. Now, I'm going to be clear, I like every single Mega Man except Mega Man 1. But I just think Mega Man 2 has the best everything. Okay, so let's start with the music. The music, Whitey stage, most classic music in any Mega Man ever. That everybody knows that stage. The music in Quickman, everybody knows that stage. And the music in Airman, everybody knows that stage. Just familiar music that you really like. Now, I'm not saying that my favorite soundtrack is in this game. I just think overall, the soundtrack is better than any other Mega Man. My favorite soundtrack is in Mega Man 3, the Snake Man, which is also my favorite boss. But overall, like the soundtrack, I think Mega Man 2 has the beat, especially when it comes to a Whitey stage. Okay, moving on from that. The bosses, again, the most diverse bosses, the most likable bosses, the more bosses make sense. Right now I'm doing Woodman, right? So makes sense that Metal Man is the one that can beat him. Why? Because Metal cut down wood. Mega Man 3, I remember there's some weird ones that don't even make sense. And in Mega Man 4 and 5, when they start like running out of ideas of what to make with Mega Man bosses, it just becomes really weird when you have to look up a guide to know what weapon works against the boss. If not, you're not gonna do it by your own. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, the bosses overall, even though my favorite is Snake Man from 3, I think Quickman and Airman and even Woodman, they're just cooler than the other bosses in the other games. Now, I have to talk about something that it just really bothers me. See, people say 3 and 4 and 5 are better because the gameplay got better. Now, I have to disagree with that. You see, in 3 they added the slide option, and in 4 they added the thing that you could hold of your power weapon and just release it. Now, those are great additions. I'm not debating that. But I still think simplicity beats down any sort of additions to the gameplay. You see, I think this is the perfect gameplay for Mega Man. This is how it should have stayed. But again, maybe not. Because the other additions are good. But I think simplicity is key in Mega Man. Now, I'm not saying too simple is good, because Mega Man 1 was too simple with like 6 bosses, and I don't think that was the best case of Mega Man. But in Mega Man 2 they improved on that, and it had better bosses and it had better gameplay, but it was still simple. Mega Man 3 they started adding some stuff. I don't know if I liked it. In Mega Man 4 they added way too much, and in Mega Man 5 and 6 I know they added a bird to follow you and stuff like that. That was complete havoc. I think that was way too much. They added way too much there. I don't know what Keiji Inafune was thinking back then. But I'm guessing he was thinking of how he could make the game more diverse. I'm sure they had conversations about that. And thinking about it, yeah, it was good, but I still think simplicity beats it out. And that's why I think Mega Man 2 is still better than Mega Man 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Now, I'm not saying I don't enjoy the other games, because I love Mega Man 3. Mega Man 3 is my second favorite. Mega Man 4, my third favorite, and so on and so forth. Although I think Mega Man 6 is better than Mega Man 5. I don't know why, I liked it better when I was playing it. So, yeah. Now, one thing this game gets right, I think, is the difficulty. You see, Mega Man 3 I think is too hard. And too hard in a good sense and in a bad sense. In a bad sense, the bosses don't make sense which ones they're going with. And I just think some stages are a little bit BS, where in Mega Man 2, every single stage makes sense, which weapon you're gonna use against the boss, and the stage is a little bit more fair, but that could be debatable. But Mega Man 4 just got easier, Mega Man 5 was really simple, and 6 was also simple, so I don't think those games were harder than Mega Man 2. I just think Mega Man 2 had the difficulty right. It was less hard than Mega Man 3, but more hard than those games. And since it was one of the first ones, you know, Mega Man 2 came out before all those, it got the difficulty right. It went down from Mega Man 1, but it wasn't easy as one may think. It's still a hard game, you know? So yeah, that's my opinion, like, sort of like the difficulty on the games. I also think Mega Man 2 has the best difficulty. Either if you put on easy or normal, which, you know, it's normal or hard as a game option. Anyways, apart from that, I could talk about the stages. I think the stages are just better in Mega Man 2. I don't know, I just think they flow better. Especially Airman stage, where you have to jump from like enemy ship to enemy ship. It's just a really cool stage, and I don't know, that's more subjective. Well, I mean, this topic is subjective, but I don't know, I think that the stages, you know, resemble with people more. Anytime you see a top 10 Mega Man stage list or anything like that, you'll probably see like 2 stages from Mega Man 2, which is, you know, makes sense because I think Mega Man 2 is the best one. Now, I'm sure some people may disagree that saying this is an overrated game. First of all, shut up. Because the game is great. It holds up today. So whenever I say a retro game holds up, it holds up. Because I'm really harsh on retro games. I don't give them a pass or anything. They could be Mario 64, they could be Mario 3. I will shit on them if they don't hold up. But this game holds up in every single category. The gameplay department, the graphics, they're beautiful. Everything. The music, great. Now, one thing Mega Man don't do, which I hate, is have a good story. Now, Mega Man 2 didn't have the best story. I think Mega Man 3 had the best, because it introduced Proto Man and Arcoil and everything like that. Mega Man 3 had a really good story. Well, not really good story, but a better story. That's the only department I could see people making a debate. But then again, Mega Man was never about the story. I'm sure they could try to add a story, and it would be dope because the theme of the game could be really cool. But Mega Man was never about that. So I wouldn't count that as a negative against Mega Man 2. It's just there, you know, the Wily's up to no good. You have to defeat him. That's pretty much it. So yeah, those are my thoughts pretty much on Mega Man and why Mega Man 2 is better. I just think the simplicity, you know, the music, the bosses, they just resemble more than any other Mega Man. The only game that can, the only Mega Man that can compare to this is Mega Man 3 and possibly 4. I really like 4. But other than that, I just think this is the best Mega Man. Overall, also, like, it's better than Mega Man X, better than Mega Man 0, and way better than Mega Man Legends. I mean, let's not get that twisted. So I just feel this is the best Mega Man. Like, what do you guys think? Do you think this is the best Mega Man out of the 1 through 6? Or do you think it's the best Mega Man overall? Or do you think it's overhyped? I mean, I know some people that think it's overrated. So yeah, those are my thoughts on it. What do you guys think? So yeah.